right.
This one coming. So we've had Zeri Lucian. We've been upset about that. I'd like to remind everyone of our old friends Azir Corki in the mid lane. Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about a stale meta here. This is not even stale anymore. This is off. Like this is gone rotten like 2 years ago, Wolf. And why is it still in the cupboard?
I also don't think it's very good into what Dplus have put together. Just in theory here, you're Corki, okay, you can shore up some of the range problems you have against CAITLYN. Azir, against a lot of mids, including the Akali, if she can't find a flank angle, will win that war of attrition with the Liandry's damage around objectives. But at least the Corki is going to offer you back some poke damage so you can try to push the CAITLYN out early. But you gave Maokai CAITLYN to Canyon and DEFT.
Put a spanner in the works. Really has.
I like what you did there.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to have any shenanigans to start this one off, which I'm very happy about, because if this game was skewed from minute one, then we wouldn't get to learn exactly whether or not Life Esports can actually find that mid-game power spike, because there is that one window, right? Because when you're spiking on, you know, 1.5 items on the Lucian, the CAITLYN is not going to be at the same power level.
No, I get, you know, on the level 1, which is why HLE didn't even contest for this. It's a Lux on the other side. You have a Corki, so you're not fighting at 1. So Kellen and DEFT get already level 1 control here. Viper got some first strike gold, chipped away at Kellen's health bar. And this lane can go Lucian Nami favored if you make a mistake. But it is so difficult with the range advantage here and the extra poke that Lux can do where she outranges the ebb and flow from the Nami. An inner turret or an inhibitor, right? Like, this is one of the things Maokai does so extremely well, even on low economy, because of his ultimate. When he's on medium to high economy, he also does poke, he also team fights, you know, he also roots prio targets. Like, this champ's pretty good right now.
Yeah, he's stacking up some saplings there as well as Clid. Yeah, he's got some frost armor, but it's not going to make it possible for him to contest that Rift Herald. So having a CAITLYN and getting Rift Herald and first rate, you're in a pretty good spot at this point in time. And
we're nearby, so it just ends up losing a lot of health. DEFT is feeling amazing about this one. And once again, Canyon sees, okay, there's an opportunity here to just drop Herald.
Yeah.
Lost my ult in, and Lux loves roots, you know? She's getting very happy.
And now she's got a Maokai. So yeah, lots of roots available. That is the ultimate, flying into Canyon. He gets knocked up by the bubble as well. Tidal Wave comes in, DEFT pretty low, but the turret is not going to stay alive. And so despite every R button being pressed, it's still an advantage for Dplus.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, that probably went about as well as it could have gone for HANWHA Life, but you lose the turret, so guess what? you have to back off. Drake is spawning. The timing of this couldn't be more perfect for Dplus. And this is what they do. They take DEFT, they put him on a pushing carry, they support it with jungle, and oh no.
Clid might be in trouble. He has to flash. Dplus Kia now taking control of this dragon. The package is on its way. Of course, Dplus, they got the notification of that one. They're going to back away, actually. See, this is what I was talking about, the respect. I'm going to get myself my Gale Force, and then I'm going to win later.
I spent a lot of time, you know, in this early game, I thought Clid's looking for a pick.
Yeah, that is once again DEFT going to get caught out. Does have his flashback up as the culling is not quite going to reach the CAITLYN. Holds on to both of his summoners now as he holds Clid at arm's length, sidesteps, and he's still alive. Clid finally goes down as that's first blood. And they just couldn't get to the CAITLYN.
I mean, they were so close to making it work, though. I mean, Viper using his passive very well there. He's sitting on a Dirk, a pickaxe, and a Noon Quiver. Doesn't even have his Gale Force. If he did, 100% DEFT goes down there.
Oh, Anna sees a Corki, gets very excited.
Asante, who can maybe try to force some people out of position. They've got a Corki who's got a great escape and has a package to set up fights later and can split the team in half. That maybe King can get in there into the front line. Maybe Showmaker gets picked early. There are, you know, some tools in the tackle box, let's say, if we're going with a fishing analogy. Speaking of.
Well, Kellen is going to get culled, and in goes Viper, picks it up. You love to see it. So they have managed to figure it out here. Maybe it was fly fishing that they'd opted in for as far as that tackle was concerned. They took the sinker off. They're like, oh, weren't supposed to be using that one.
You're not waiting for the bobble on this one.
No, exactly.
Well, you know, they've picked up a smallmouth bass, let's just say, with this one. You picked up Kellen, you didn't get his summoners, he's going to be up for the objective fight, so some extra money going over. Can you siege the turret is the next question.
Well, Glacial Prison comes in, Canyon has to flash. Nature's Grasp comes out just to defend this turret, but you were talking about utilizing things in order to get this Drake. Now that big ultimate that Canyon needs is not going to be there. And Showmaker in this top side does have his teleport available. King and also, and Zeka towards this bottom side. And
a lot of options here except to just walk into another Maokai fight.
Yeah.
We'll give it up.
Oh, yeah, Zeka on the flank does find Deft. Fast bomb not going to connect. Ace in the hole tanked by Clid. Happy to do so. Frost armor that is now going to fall down. Still, damage is done. Deft taking a big chunk. Still looking for that Infinity Edge. That is going to be the first big spike for the CAITLYN. It looks like Dplus here will be able to just group up on this Drake, take it down pretty fast as HANWHA just booking it towards this turret. Kellen, can he actually find a final spark angle? Try and take down these minions. A Showmaker coming in from the side. There's the final spark. Doesn't really hit onto these ones as Nature's Grasp comes in yet again. Tanked up by Kingen really nicely, but is he going to die? He's Cassante, so the answer's probably no, as there's the flash. CAITLYN picks up that kill, and now Canna on the flank. They've all tunneled in, but Canna's taking so much damage. The Emperor's Divide from Showmaker, and he's turned it around. Dplus here, they found their window, and HANWHA Esports just climbed in it. Oh, it's a disaster. It's now Viper versus the world as CAITLYN picks it up. Surprise Teemo indeed. Triple kill for Deft, and here's the Baron.
You're just checkmated as HANWHA Life, and this is going to be the game-winning play here. Showmaker seals the deal, but even with the potential turn in the choke point, you're a quirky Lucian. You know, if you're turning here with serious mid-lane damage, or you have like an Orianna in the choke point, you're like, all right, yeah, maybe. You've got a Draven, maybe you have enough damage long-term, as this is really well set up here by Canyon and Kellen. You're not getting our turret, they have to evacuate, Kingen gets caught here, and then you're like, okay, we got Tidal, maybe we could turn, but there's a Crocodile pushing through the top side, there's no way out. And, I mean, Showmaker just says, sorry, you guys are all dead. It is a doomed situation. Like, it might actually maybe lose one or two is what you're thinking as HANWHA, as Canyon says, or rather, Showmaker says, nope, it's a wipe. And as HLE, what do you do here? Do you put Cassante to try to kill an outer turret top? There are no options. You can't win the Drake fight, you can't side lane, you can't push bottom.
And it was an overextension, it was greedy. Because, yeah, you want to be able to take the outer turret, you want to grab outer turret, trade it for the Drake, right? That feels good. But don't overextend, don't give them this lead, because now it's 7,000 gold. Beforehand, you were like, yeah, but we've got Corki who can do ridiculous things. As Canyon just walks in and takes Viper's lunch money. Blitz going to interrupt the blast cone though, as here is the Nature's Grasp, teleport to come forward. Canyon's basically unkillable. Final spark goes right through HANWHA Life, and Clid is just going to die. Canyon having a field day. Don't give this guy Maokai, this champion's broken.
Zeka just doesn't even TP in. He's like, I'm getting some bounty gold bottom side. You guys are trying to kill a Maokai. And with the TP coming over here from Showmaker, he won't even get that bounty gold, in fact. He still doesn't care. He's not even interested. And you're never going to hit Deft. He's the safest he could be. He's got Cloud Soul and he's CAITLYN. Like, how do you ever pick him?
He's also got a stopwatch.
And Flash.
It's absurd. And he's also taken a heal into a Sejuani, which honestly we feel like is a bit of a cardinal sin, but we've noticed that also hasn't really mattered. Showmaker's going to have to shift sands to get out of the way of the culling, but now the culling's on cooldown. For at least a little while. Won't be utilized in this next fight. The Baron going to be available in 10 seconds time. Going to be the next one for Dplus to use to try and break this one open. As Zeka find a flank angle, or finds a flank angle. That one's a plural. As Ace in the hole comes in, ebb and flow to get some health back for the Corki. Deft is running so damn fast, it's ridiculous. Yeah, Cloud Soul's pretty silly. His Tidal Wave going to be avoided by Deft right there. I think he's running faster than even he expects himself to run. As HANWHA Esports not so lucky on that one.
Yeah, that should just be the Baron going over.
I've never seen a CAITLYN with that much movement speed. He presses his R button, then he's like scooting around the rift.
Oh, I mean, you just start off a fight like that. I mean, literally, you've got your own Shirelli.
All right, here's the moment. Sound the trumpets, Wolf. The package is being delivered.
Yeah, and I actually like that Dplus, even though they have a really great turn and Showmaker has flash and ult, Banshee's failed, they're like, nah, let's not throw. Let's just make sure we win this one 100% because we can just wait out the package. We have Leandri's. And usually the Corki is the one who's like, oh yeah, you guys are going to wait this out, I'll win the poke war. But I think Dplus are very happy.
Look at how much money HANWHA are losing, right? In this moment. Like Dplus here, they prepped their waves. They did their homework.
Exactly. Like they're like, okay, where's that wave on the opposite side of Baron? So he's a rookie, right? Like he might overextend a mid, you outposition him, you take him out. Like we get that pick as Clid, but not Deft. And this is a Baron that they do not have a package.
Not here. He's in the bottom lane with no teleporters. It's not going to be stolen by Clid. Canyon is going to lock that one down. They timed all of the abilities together. in order to make sure that they at least pushed it to a 55-45. I'd say that that wasn't really the most clean, but Clid gets in, goes for the attempted smite, doesn't get it, and then gets out.
As Dplus, if they steal the Baron away there without their Cassante, they're not going to win the fight, and it delays the game, but you're like, cool. Yeah. And in order to make this play happen, Clid has to flash, and if he doesn't flash, he dies, even if he gets the steal. So I think Dplus are just like, all right, cool story. You guys are going to maybe try to 50-50 this, but we have Final Stark and a ton of burst damage and smite. It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
And I actually respect Dplus just being like, nah, like we're not going to get over this wall and really stop this Sejuani. We might as well just know that there's no way they're going to steal it, right? The chances are so low.
Yep. Well, DEFT is now just going to walk up, see whether they can break open this base, because they still need to do that. The game isn't over just by earning heaps of money. You do also need to kill a Nexus. So that's what's next. As DEFT is walking very, very quickly, gets to press R and then do that, as we can see, as Viper dives onto Canyon. Suboptimal target if you want to kill anyone, however, he's there, and you do have to try and get them out.
I mean, weakening him here does slow this down quite significantly. He is going to take an empowered recall here. And without his ultimate, you know, the siege of these inhibitors is much harder. So I actually like Viper's choice here just to say, all right, we've removed one big threat, and we might actually be able to live through this Baron, but the Elder spawns in 10. Canyon's back at full health.
Life Binding is going to miss. And now there's the flash forward. Viper going to cleanse immediately. Final Spark, and Canna avoids the rest of the follow-up from HANWHA Life Esports. Kind of like that play. It was pretty cute. And I do want to say, Wolf, I just had a thought, because we're getting towards the end of this game.
Yeah.
Who gets the POG? I feel like Kellen has been super consistent.
Yeah, it's between Kellen and DEFT for me right now. 100%.
Well, that's the Elder. They've got the Soul as well. Nature's Grasp going to come through here as Canna is going to find Clid. There is absolutely nowhere for Bristle and Sejuani to go, and the Dragon is going to come down from the heavens and smite her away.
I mean, when you consider, too, Atlas, back to your question, like, look at his build. He went Shirelius, you know, solo Q Lux has learned from this man. Shirelius into Mikhail's Blessing for DEFT, who doesn't have
Shirelius and Cloud Soul. That seems balanced. That's a lot of, that's enough speed, I think.
100% kill participation in this game. I think I'm going to give it to him.
Well, Canyon is just going to boot back the Lucian, and that is going to say goodnight to at least that form of damage. Zekka is still there to try and wave clear, but it's not really going to work. Canna fighting against Kingen. The Cassante going to try and teleport towards his Nexus turret. Don't know whether that was all that safe, given the amount of damage that they had available, but this game is definitely in its twilight hours or minutes or seconds. As Kingen's going to go golden, the rest of them are relegated to the fountain, and Dplus Kia, they will come back in this week's LCK. They'll take down this Nexus, and we'll see whether they can do another one, because this was so much better than what they showed versus KT.
We have seen so many wildly varying performances from all of our Westside teams, right? Even T1 dropping a game to Nongshim, right? We know there was a little bit of happy gaming going on there, but any given day, any team can win the League of Legends, right?